All right, and all right, we're back. Sorry for the technical issues. I love OBS, still learning it, but she's been a little rough tonight and crashed on us. We're back. So, Jason, as you were kind of sharing, you were getting involved with helping with Winter House, handling some of the gaming stuff, and what else were you doing? Kind of get back to that. Sorry.
Doing some video stuff for you guys, as you just casually asked. Because as far as I'm aware, I'm the only person you know that will wake up at 3 a.m. if you need something last minute and film it. Honestly.
Yeah,
It's definitely nice to have.
I would not disagree to that comment.
Like, I will wake up, no fucking problem. They're like, hey, can we shoot this? I'm like, yeah, sure. Let me just wake up.
They're like, hey, are you
pop up your light and
yeah, like, hey, can you help us film this? Yeah, sure. When do you want to do it? How about this evening? Sure, it's only 2:00. Let me get out of work first.
Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, Jason's like,
Which
I'm already
has
your house
happened,
all
like-
set up. Where are you?
Right.
But pretty much it's gone from that to me just not saying no whenever you guys have asked for something, and here I am now helping with the cosplay stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
same kind of deal. Yeah, I appreciate that very much. And on that cosplay note, I will say that I don't know if you have anything to say, not talk about drama or whatever, but I personally had no idea how like interweaved the cosplay community was. You know, like
This is
it's like everybody knows.
very interesting.
And they've all get their own rules, and I guess it's kind of like anything. I mean, me being a tattoo artist, it's like even just the aftercare. Every single tattoo artist has just a little different way of how they tell you to take care of their tattoo, and I feel like it's the same with cosplay. It's just everybody's like, this is how you do it, but this is how you really do it.
Right? Yeah. And it's even that, like, we know everyone, or we hear those like little rumors of he said, she said stuff, and it gets around if you're in it long enough.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, I can imagine that.
oh.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean,
But from from everyone I've talked to, everyone cosplay wise is really excited. Two of the girls that have actually helping me out, I'm going to say this because I doubt they're watching anyway. We're doing the Powerpuff Girls.
oh, nice.
are you going to be a Powerpuff Girl?
I'm Bubbles. My stuff comes in Monday.
Girl, I can honestly say, as a 34, almost 35-year-old man, that my youngest sister, that is 11 years younger than me, every day that I got her ready for school, we watched the Powerpuff Girls. So, I thoroughly enjoy that cosplay, so I look forward to seeing you guys do that.
Yeah,
great.
I gotta say, as far as cosplay goes, I'm super excited to have you in on this with us, Jason, and kind of helping, kind of see what you're gonna bring to the table to help, better the cosplay for the con, and just kind of help bring it to that next level. Cosplay is amazing. There's so many awesome cosplayers here in the state. The main Ghostbusters. We've got Paul with R2 and Stormtrooper. You've got Jason, other Jason with Darth Vader. You've got the Bats down in Portland.
Jay's drinking soda.
Jay's drinking soda, not a beer.
Getting carbonated over here, guys.
I've got Iron Man of Maine.
It was a beer, not a soda.
Yeah, the Iron Man of Maine. That guy's suits are outrageous.
Yeah.
The technicality he puts into those suits are insane, and that's definitely one thing I appreciate about the cosplay is the ingenuity. When you really see what people use to put together some of these costumes or cosplay. I don't know if that's his costumes. Let's set this straight, Jason. Is it only cosplay when it's at a convention, or can you say costume?
So how I see it is, if you're cosplaying, you're taking because it's costume playing. That is the actual term.
Right.
So it's like I put this on and I'm playing around. If it's a costume, maybe it's like, oh, it's Halloween, so it's a costume. Or you're in a play, it's a costume.
Right.
But it's one of those thin lines. It is a thin line.
It's a very gray area, right?
How much you commit to the role, I guess, is the separation there.
Yeah.
I think it's. Sorry, Jay, go ahead.
Oh no, I think I said before, but Jason wasn't part of it. But I had taken place in like a costume contest, and I just assumed that it was more about your costume, or cosplay, the outfit. But then as I'm standing there in line, I realize these people are rehearsing their role, for when they get up there. And I'm just like, what did I get myself into? And then the girl that won, I mean, she just she answered every question as that character. And it just, it blew my mind. I was like, all right, well, okay. So that's what that is. All right. I get it.
I just love the dedication that people have for the craft. Like, I am not at all crafty. And you've got people that sit here, and Jason, you're one of them, will okay, I've got this convention, this event going on. Like, these are the cosplays I'm going to make for it. And we'll put close to a year, sometimes a year or more into doing these cosplays to be able to, roll them out. And it's not just one, it's like, hey, Friday I'm going as this, Saturday I'm doing this, Sunday I'm doing this one. And it's just, the love and, craft and experience, just the joy that people bring. Somebody's...
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, somebody's... audio is...
Who is this?
Finishing cosplays the night before. That seems to be, is cosplay procrastination pretty much just part of it?
Does anybody really? We call it the con crunch, which is like the week before up to the night. We're running around. We're buying a lot of hot glue because at the end, we just use a lot of hot glue to just throw it together for a day.
Right.
Or even like an hour. Like, if this lasts an hour, I look good, I'm okay.
Yeah. That's like a hairdryer.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Well, hopefully it's gone now.
Kimberly was going to go as Rogue. I was going to go as Gambit, and her friend Mariah was going to go as Phoenix. And we got our cosplay costume, whatever. At that point, it was a costume. And I remember just being so freaked out. Like, am I going to be the only one dressed up? Like, are other people actually going to be dressed up at this thing? And I was so freaked out. And then I get there, and like the first 2 minutes, people are like, dude, can we take your photo? Like, it's Gambit, it's Rogue, blah, blah, blah. And then the whole friggin' weekend, people are asking for photos with us. And we were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I've never felt so cool in my life.
So that's why you wear a popular character song. People are going to be like, can I take your photo? Can we and at first it's like, wait, what? Oh, sure.
But then it becomes like you have to figure out. Now you have to budget your time for it. Like we started doing that because we always love to dress up. But we also are like, all right, Friday night we're gonna see what we want to buy. Saturday we're gonna dress up. Sunday we're gonna go buy it. That was like pretty much our game plan every time.
Right. That's why you always go for the 3-day weekend. Friday night's the preview of like, all right, here's what we kind of want to see. And then Saturday's the dress up. Everyone's going to swamp you if you have that certain cosplay. And then Sunday's kind of that chill. Maybe just throw on a hoodie or something. Call it good.
Yeah. Sunday is, especially for the people running it, oh my God, man. I was thinking about that the other day when I was thinking about how our convention technically had come and gone for the dates. And I was sitting there on Sunday, and I think it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. And I was just like, I would be absolutely out of my mind, exhausted, but running on complete adrenaline right now. If our convention had actually like gone on, because that's for sure what happened the last year. That Sunday, man. I remember when Will and I went and Renfro and us when we went to pick everybody up at the hotel. I remember specifically Eric Stolansky, Rabbit from Super Troopers. Anybody watching that doesn't know, he's sitting there on the couch in like the lobby, and I just remember walking down and I looked at him and we were like, hey, you ready to go? And he just goes, yeah. And then he gets up, and I was like, dude, that is like exactly how every one of us feel right now. Like, okay, let's go. Here we go.
I think Nick kind of summed that up perfectly. So he had last year a photo of beginning of convention and Nick
oh my God,
after convention. Like, this is what a con does to you.
Hold on. Well, I'll try and find this.
Yeah, see if you can pull that up, because that is 100% true. Like, your enthusiasm and everything on that first picture was just so like, yeah.
Oh, I was so happy.
Drained. Well, and then it didn't end right there, because anybody that doesn't remember, last year's convention, we had a random snowstorm that came out of nowhere. Was it Sunday night or was it Monday morning that hit?
Sunday night, because Monday morning flights were canceled, I believe.
Okay, because Renfro was still dealing with flights and stuff because of that. And then I remember, I think Mark was stuck here until maybe almost Wednesday morning is when he finally got to leave.
Yeah, we had to move. Poor Nick was running Mark all over the place. I think he brought him over to Dave's at one point to do a podcast thing.
Yeah.
Switching hotels around for him, like.
We went to Denny's a couple of times. It was a lot of Denny's.
Yeah. I remember specifically, I felt, oh my God, like one of those moments where you really didn't mean it to come out that way, but I had to end up on the last night. I had to go pick up Mark. He was still stuck at the airport in Bangor. I went and picked him up. We went back to the hotel, and we were down in the dining room right before they closed, and he had ordered food, and we were looking at flights trying to get him out of there. And he had ordered a steak salad, and I was so drained still. I mean, this was like Tuesday night or something after the convention, and I just wanted to be done with it. Just want to be done. This was like the last part. And I'm sitting there drinking my beer, and he's sitting there drinking his wine and eating his steak salad. And I just made the comment. I was like, oh, man, it's so crazy. Like, I'm sitting here just drinking my beer, and you're eating steak salad. And he goes, but do you want some of it? And I was like, no, that's not what I meant. Like, I don't want. He's like, no, eat some of it. And I was like, no, that's not what I meant. He's like, no, like, have some of this. Like, I ended up having to eat a piece of that steak because it got so awkward being him sitting there.
I found the picture of my. Oh. This is real. You can't fake this.
Show us and then comment it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
Comment that photo if you can.
Okay.
Oh, it's so true. Hey, let's catch up here on some comments.
Yeah, so what do we got? We got, scroll back up. So audio was acting up. We got that fixed.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, not a whole lot there. Jesse, I got to get Greg to cosplay with me. I've always wanted to do it. Nicole commented, yeah, Sunday into Monday. Very true. Gotta love the weather in Maine, Jesse said. And then Brandon said, Jay is my hero.
Oh, Brandon. I love you, Brandon. I miss you.
Brandon,
Brandon randomly on here. We pull Brandon in for an episode at some point. Him and his wife just opened up the new IGA and Brewer.
Oh, nice.
Sure. Brandon used to be a manager at Gagan's when I worked there, and now he's running that over there. So I haven't talked to you, Brandon, in a while. I hope everything's going very well with everything going on. I assume you guys must be because you got essential items there and everything. But I love you and I miss you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, Brandon, if you're still here, you're more than welcome anytime if you want to link up with Jay and we can set it up. One of the big things are we want to be able to help push local businesses, small business, local vendors. So if you're interested in coming on and talking, we'd love to have you sometime. He said, love you, buddy. Darren says, hey, guys, how's it going? Darren, hope you're doing well. Now that we've kind of got into... Oh, Nicole says, congratulations, Brandon. Now we've got a little backstory on everybody. Al, I'll come back to you while you've kind of just been sitting back there.
Just enjoying the show, man. Just enjoying the show.
He's fine. He's got his gin. He's good.
So, Al, what are some of your favorite moments from the convention? What are some of some of your favorite memories, some of the guests that you've really enjoyed having on?
I already know.
I know. I should have done the same thing with Jay, where I'm like, hold on, I know if Jay can be any superhero. But let me guess who Al's would be. So, Al, sorry for cutting you off. Your favorite guest we've had so far is
Gigi Edgley.
Gigi Edgley.
Yeah.
Can you remind us who she is?
Tiana from Farscape. So yeah, that's what she's most known for. She's also done some other stuff, Australian TV, a couple different series there. She's got a musical career with her band, and very, very talented young lady, and big fan.
Super nice too.
Fantastic. She was one of the great things about, I think, the BCTC is the size of the convention that we have. It really allows the guests to interact with the fans a lot, and she is definitely one of those people who genuinely interacts with people and is just happy to sit back and talk and find out what you're interested in just as much as you are to find out about her. So yeah, really genuine person, really super nice, really great to visit with her for a few minutes. Yep.
Yeah, she's everything you said, 100%, and she's so good. Like, anybody that came up to her, every fan, she took the time to talk with, to make feel important, and she's got a larger than life personality.
I feel like that year specifically, though, like that was Ernie Hudson, Gigi, Deep Roy, Doug Jones,
Doug Jones.
That was a good group of people, though, because that actually
Billy
just
D.
popped up in my No, was that Billy? D? That was Billy D. Yeah. That popped up in my newsfeed the other day. That it was 5 years ago. I had a picture with Doug Jones.
Yeah.
And he specifically was one that that was actually kind of a crazy scenario for me as well, though, in the sense that like I was still totally a fan at that point, because I remember seeing Doug and all those people, and not even Doug, I didn't even know who the hell he was. And then I saw like those photos. I was like, wait a minute, you're that guy? You were this guy? And then I get a photo with him, and he's like got his arms around me. He's like playing with my beard. He's like commenting on my hair, and exactly like you said, Al, it is like we can afford to do that at our convention. Like people can actually have that time to really get that one-on-one, and it's very homegrown, I guess, as you can say. And that's really one thing that Will and I are hoping. Like, we want the convention to continue to grow, but we really don't want to lose that. We don't want to start, what do they call it? Like cattle herding, which a lot of conventions have gotten to that point. And I'd love it if we could we could continue to try to condense it where people can really have that good one-on-one and not feel like they just have to rush in and be like, okay, I can do this, this, and this, and that's it. And that's my day.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that's one of the great things about BCTC is I think it's just the right size. So
yeah. And like, I don't know how other people do it, man, because I mean, as far as we can see, Will and I were talking about this before, you know, with everything that we had set up and everything, we were definitely expecting, and hopefully, you know, still, I mean, it's a totally different beast now trying to do it in October with everything that's been going on. But, you know, we're hoping that it's going to be bigger. But yeah, it's weird. Like when the goal is to always be better, but also be like, well, when like, is there, like, can we even ever reel it in? Like, if it just became its own thing and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, like, could Will and I still be like, but let's keep it homegrown, you know? Like, we'd have to, like, stop people from coming in, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's one of those where, like, you know, it seems like each year it's growing and growing larger every time. And, you know, even when me and Jay did that final, what would have been our final walkthrough, and we're like, shit, like, we thought the arena was bigger than this. Like,
dude, both of us
gonna
at the
be
same
tight.
time, like, looked at each other and had that same thought go through our head, like, this seemed bigger before.
Yeah, we're like,
Is this it?
and we're like, you know, like we were kind of joking around, and like, and this is still, like, don't take this, people, don't take this to heart if you're listening, like, because there's no guarantee that this will happen or ever is going to happen. But even one of the first walkthroughs we did, we were like, yeah, like, we've kind of at one point, you know, and even Chris had kind of teased, like, what if we were to rent the whole place? And then the person, you know, and the promoter or event manager we had was just like, yeah, we only have one company that ever does that, like, and it's like the Loggers Expo.
The loggers.
And on that final walkthrough, we were like, no, like, this could happen. Like, it's like, it's very doable because there's still so much more we could have added. I mean, every year we've got a wait list of maybe 50 or more, you know, maybe not more, vendors or artists that are wanting to get in. And, you know, this year alone, we expanded the vendor area. We expanded Artist Alley because we had just sold out of stuff so quick.
Yeah.
You know, like last year it was, okay, you know, a month before it's happening, we're still taking in vendors. But at this point, we're like, hey, we're 3 months out and we've got nothing. Like around middle of January, we were done. Like, you know, we were like fighting, or not fighting, we were doing everything we could to add space to be able to bring more people in. But yeah, I think that's kind of like that tough thing to navigate for us is one of the things that we are very lucky to be able to have with our convention is all of the guests that we've been able to work with have been amazing. Yeah, some of them will have moments, but you got to understand, some of these people are flying out of the country. They're flying on 14-hour flights. Some of them are older guests too, you know, like, so yeah, ideally we would love for every single one of them to be great 24/7. But just like us, we all have our moments. We have down times. But everybody that we've had has been extremely personable, has taken their time with their fans, has gone above and beyond. We shared stories about Cooper, Kel Mitchell, Doug Jones last episode, Lou Temple. We just talked about Gigi, you know, and the list goes on. So how do we how do we navigate that sea when it comes to, as this continues to grow, how do we still try to make sure we can make those memorable experiences for everybody coming through? And I mean, I think it's something when the time comes, we're just going to have to learn as we go and do the best we can. And try to make sure everybody is still having a quality experience with the guests that they came to see.
That's what it comes down to too, and that's one thing that I've always tried to step back. And it always seems like you know, when you're on like a news promo or something, you get like 5 minutes to try and like say everything that this involves, and it's never enough time. But like what it comes down to completely is this whole event, the whole reason for it. And I feel like sometimes people have to step back and realize when you get people that are upset about this, or people that are disappointed about this, or people that are like, well, I realize that you got these guests, but what about these guests? Can you get these? Is at the end of the day, you know, one, Chris didn't even have to start this. Two, Chris didn't have to give it over to us to continue. Three, we didn't have to continue it. So it's like, I just feel like people need to remember that the whole reason that we even have this event is to, what do you got there? Oh, you just sent me a text. But it's just have fun. It's just for people to get together and share the same interests, comics and art and toys and just shooting the shit about stuff and dressing up. And that's literally what it comes down to. So, you know, I just appreciate that we have like such a good following of people that want to come and enjoy themselves and break apart. And we always try to think about that there's obviously going to be kids. And then with kids, there's probably going to be their parents or like a babysitter. So we try to get people in that demographic. And then you get people that bring their grandparents and stuff. So, you know, we try to accommodate everybody, but you can't make everybody happy. So, you know, it is what it is. But
absolutely,
we do our best.
I think, yeah, and that's exactly like we try to do what we can to accommodate everybody, make it a great experience for everyone attending. As we hit on last episode, you know, we had agents that were like, "Hey, you guys were going above and beyond," you know, to the point where you guys were running around with a money bag, like when people like, you know, a photo didn't come out right, or
yeah,
you know, a guest that they wanted didn't make it. You know, you guys went above and beyond what any other convention or anyone else I know would have done. And I mean, and at the end of the day, again, BCTC is family to us. Yes, it's a business, and we understand that, but we're nothing without you guys that are watching, people who come and support the convention and our team, and in any way that we can try to help people out and make it a memorable experience that they're going to tell their friends and they're going to keep coming back every year. We're going to try to accommodate that the best way we can.
Yep.
So I'm going to catch up on, we got a number of comments that came in. Nicole said, Gigi Hart, love her. Yeah, Gigi was amazing. Got some stories that I can't share, but I do love Gigi. Chris, who is the one? Nothing bad, but nothing that should be shared on here. Chris Lyons, who is that one on the bottom left? What a meow.
That me?
That's you.
That's you, buddy.
That's me.
Oh man, Chris is also another amazing person. He's attended the con every year. Drops more money than most people I know in Artist Alley, supporting right. All of those guys. And Chris is actually going to be helping in Artist Alley this year for us. And you know, Chris is, like we said, been there since year one, and we're excited to have him on the team. So Chris, thank you for tuning in. Darren, Billy D was kind of rude though to many people. I don't know. I'm sorry if you had a bad experience with Billy. I personally enjoyed Billy. Again, as I kind of said earlier, you know, he is somebody that is older. I don't know Billy's exact age. You know, but he's an older gentleman. He's probably been doing this for over 20 years.
I think he's like 105.
And I'm pretty sure they were filming at the time for Star Wars, and he had a cameo in that. So I'm sorry if you did have a bad experience with Billy. I know his line was absolutely insane, and that could be part of the experience, trying to push people through to make sure he can get to everybody. I've never seen a line for a guest like I had year one for Billy.
Big one.
It went from, he was in the middle of the ballroom, went all the way out through the hallway, out to the main lobby, and out the door. And people were like, "Is this a line to get in?" And we're like, "No, this is just a line for Billy D right now." Like, it was nuts.
Well, and some people, like, that's what they're used to, you know. And also another thing, it's like you don't want to be like, wow, that person's like a dink, but at the same time, you know, even Sid said that. Like after his Q&A, he had the longest line of the day at that point, but he was like, that right there, that's my line all the time.
Yeah, like this
so
this
like
is what I'm always
they're
doing.
just used to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, again, yeah, I'm sorry if you had a negative experience with Billy. I personally enjoyed him. I had no problem, no issues with him. We got Jesse's so glad it's still happening this year with the new dates. Hayden was so looking forward to it and it was bummed, so he's excited again. Nicole, it will be interesting to see when it moves to the arena. Well, hopefully you'll see in October. We've got a lot of awesome things planned, so we'll see what happens. Jesse, I agree. I went to Boston Comic-Con a couple of years back, and I couldn't do half the stuff I wanted to. It's just too huge and not enough time. Before I continue on with the comments, Jay kind of shared, this story, like, when he's gone down to Fan Expo, it's one of those, like, okay, here's the schedule. And then I'm having to make my own schedule. Like, this is what I'm doing for Friday. This is what I'm doing Saturday. This is how I'm going to spend my day Sunday. And I'm going to try to hit this panel or see this person this day and this and that. I personally haven't been able to go to Fan Expo, but I've heard plenty of stories and just how crazy it can be. So I'm very thankful that, obviously I love the growth. I love seeing this convention get bigger, but I very much enjoy that we're still able to provide an awesome experience for everybody and not feel like it's too overwhelming or being cattle herding, like Jay had mentioned, like just trying to go through a photo op. So Darren said we may have to reschedule his steampunk fair for October. Yeah, man, that sucks. I'm sorry that you're going through that as well. I feel like, unfortunately, that's kind of like everything right now. It's all kind of being pushed back. It's either people are trying to push things back or, just cancel and move forward to next year. We got very lucky that we had a few dates, for September or October, and we were able to get ours locked in very quickly with the venue to ensure that, hopefully all of the guests, again, some of that stuff is still being worked on, but a large number of the guests have already been able to confirm that they will be back here in October before another convention was able to kind of scoop them up. So, I mean, best of luck navigating that. It's no easy task, but I hope it all works out for you. Duncan, from a 4-year PAX East veteran, co-exhibitor, line cons have their charm for diehards, but you really do lose out on an intimacy that really makes smaller size cons special.
I agree. Thank you, Duncan.
Nicole, the loggers even use Bass Park Racetrack is available. Yeah, ideally I would not want to have to imagine having to expand that far.
To a racetrack.
To the racetrack, I would ideally like to hopefully keep it all in the same building. And again, this is all hypothetical stuff. We don't know if we'll ever see that.
Yeah, we still need to get through the arena one first.
Right.
Let's start there.
I'd like to see a Trek mile race, just saying. We'll send all the red coats out first. Red shirts, I should say. Agree on the promo. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Darren. Even make sure we do. We love our vendors. We try to take care of everybody. And that's one of the things we're rolling out this year. Christina, Con Mom, is just an absolutely amazing person. And we're lucky to have her on our team. Came, just kind of on her own, started going around at the con prior and saying, checking with vendors or artists, like, hey, do you guys need a bathroom break, smoke break? Do you need any food or any drink? Like, we'll get it for you. We'll cover your table. So we kind of decided to roll out, our vendors and our artists next to the fans are what makes this event happen. Without having that, this convention doesn't exist. So we want to be able to make sure they're all taken care of and having a great experience. So we've kind of rolled out a thing where Mom is going to be handling, making sure all the vendors are constantly being checked on. If they need anything, if they're having any issues, it's all taken care of. And the same for Artist Alley. I'll probably say it 100 times tonight. It's family, and we want to make sure it's the vendors, the artists, our staff, the fans, and the guests all have an amazing experience and an awesome weekend. A lot of people travel hours away, states away. I've got a vendor that's coming all the way from. We've had vendors coming from Florida, Louisiana, Midwest that travel out here to do this convention. And if they're willing to take that time for us, the least we can do on our end is make sure that we're giving them a great experience and showing them a good time while they're here.
Yeah.
Nicole, where's that? Jay, love you guys. Darren said he just turned 83. Chris, that one I can 100% agree with. There was an artist, I'll just leave it in the comments. I know a few people have shared negative experiences. I don't think I got to meet the artist the year they were here at all, so I can't share any personal experiences, but I definitely have heard a number of stories from people, and unfortunately, that sucks when that does happen. I feel like, those for us are so few and far between, that, some of the people we do have, kind of completely outweigh that and make it such a better experience. Like we were saying, Cooper was a last minute addition. And Cooper, next to Doug Jones, I would say best guest we've ever had, as far as dealing with fans, personality. Doug Jones is number one. Cooper is a number two, if not a close number one. The guy came in last minute. He flew in from Germany, was home for a day, flew to Portland. Jay then had to drive him up from Portland. Took a 2-hour nap, and then came over to a Shazam premiere at the theater, hung out, played the Walking Dead game with people.
Dead game with everybody, yep.
Yeah, and then did like a meeting, did like a little intro before the video started, and then came to the convention, and it was just go 24/7, signing, photo ops, having people pose with him, even doing a Overwatch tournament with Josh Petersdorf. Just absolutely amazing. So luckily we have a number of people who hopefully outweigh some of those negative experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
Matt Nichols, I love Jason so much it hurts. Jason. Big Bear.
I miss Matt so much.
Big Bear.
Big Bear. He loves some Big Bear. Let's see. Rob. Hey, Rob. How's it going, buddy? Rob is another one who's been with us forever. I haven't seen him in the last couple of years, but hopefully will be here in October.
Please.
Another guy that's become like family for us. Darren, that's why I still support my friends like you. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate your brother. T-Rex, miss you guys too. Family is an understatement when it comes to how you treat us as guests. Thank you so much, Rob.
That's nice, Rob. Thank you.
Yeah, that means a lot. Cooper was always smiling. I don't think Cooper doesn't know how to not smile.
Right.
I think it's almost like it's just permanently engraved in his face, like he can't not.
Cooper's one of those people that I feel like it would be like a parent being like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Like Cooper could like cut me down to the core just by being like, I'm just real disappointed in you, man. Like that would hurt me way more than him being mad at me.
Right.
Is there anybody, now that we're caught up on those, is there anybody that you guys want to share? Like you got like a favorite situation or story or anything from our conventions? Alan, you got anything, or you want us to come back to you? Circle back around?
Yeah, the only thing I got is I'll give you one. It's a little embarrassing for the head of
GG
security.
related?
Oh, perfect.
No, not GG related.
I love you.
So it was the year we had Sid Haig and all the great lineup of guests and everything, and it was Friday. It was Friday evening, going through setup. I'm there. I'm walking the floor, helping nail down last minute things, getting power to some tables and things like that, helping people get set up. And this guy comes walking in the main entrance there, the ballroom, and he's in like this jacket, and he's got this cowboy hat on, and he's kind of standing there, and he's kind of looking around, and looks a little out of place. And I'm like, excuse me, sir, can I help you? He says, yeah, I'm here for the convention. And it's like, well, we're not actually open yet. And he says, oh, well, I'm Lou Temple. And
I figured that's what it was, yeah.
Oh man.
And it didn't click on me right away because I'd been running around and everything, and I was just like, and
great.
What's your point?
I'm a guest. I was like, oh, that Lou Temple. Right this way.
You gonna be in the new Tarantino movie? That Lou Temple?
Yeah. So that's the one that really stands out to me. And like I say, it's a little embarrassing for the head of security to not know, one of the main guests is going to be there. But yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking.
Lou's a great dude. Lou is a character. My God, I would love to have Lou back to hang out, just to hang out. I mean, his style. The way he talks, everything, you're just like, who is this guy and what year did he walk out of?
I felt so bad for Lou. So it's kind of become tradition to bring all the guests to Stephen King's house to do photo ops. Yeah. So it was super late one night after the convention, and I think it might have been Saturday night after the after party, so even later than normal. And they're like, yeah, let's go by Stephen King's house. Let's go do photos. So we bring everybody that wanted to go, and they were all doing photos. And we had been telling them how he also owns a radio station. So we hop back in the van, and Lou, hey, y'all, let's go over to that radio station and check that out while we're out. And everyone's like, no, we're done. We're not going by a radio station. And he was just like, like poor Lou.
That's awesome. Renfro, I know you had quite a time with Kimmy and Harry last year. Or do you have a better story than that? Because I mean, you've got a couple years of driving people around.
You can share a few of them too, buddy.
I'll think about this while I'm talking about the Harry and Kimmy thing. Because at the end of last year on the Sunday after it was all done, me and Amy, my girlfriend, went to dinner with Harry and Kimmy and got to walk around downtown, and it's kind of weird because it was an awful lot like it is right now, very dead, and no one was down there. So it was kind of cool that we were just in downtown, just our group of people, and no traffic, nobody else and whatnot. So that was the best part, the best story, I think. Other great stories, I can't really think. There's a lot. It's a lot.
I think there is a lot
talk about here.
I was gonna say can't really mention, but I think that's one of my favorite things about what Chris did when he started it, but also Will and I being able to take it over is that with making the final decisions, we can, it's not always like that. Don't anybody watching this get their hopes up or don't favoritism, but sometimes we're able to be this would be amazing for we have this guest going and one of our really good friends loves these people. If we could let them sit with this person or get to drive them somewhere or something like that. Like it's a really, really good feeling to be able to give people that opportunity. I mean, you would never think that you'd be able to say to a friend like, hey, let's just say, prime example, Joey Fatone. Kimberly has loved NSYNC forever. And for anybody that doesn't know that's watching, Kimberly's my fiance. We've been together forever. She loves NSYNC, and Joey has always been her main guy. To be able to say to your fiance or your significant other that you have one of their favorite people in the world coming to an event, and you get to be like, hey, do you want to sit with them for the weekend? Like, you just don't get to do that for anybody. And I love that Will and I are in that position where we can give that to friends and family and really like give them a once in a lifetime opportunity,
Yeah, for sure. Like, because like, that opportunities like that don't really come around Maine. Obviously, they've never been the thing, and to be able to like, bring a little Twin Peaks to Bangor was really cool of you guys. And this little like, who needs to be paid to work the convention when you have that happening? It's like that's more than money can ever pay for.
Well, and I feel like that too. That was like, driving people around and stuff at the event, and Chris would be like, I can give you this or whatever. And it's like, dude, I was just walking around in a back hallway with Vern Troyer while he was in his scooter. And I was like, hey, Vern, how fast that scooter go? And Vern looks at me and goes, watch this. And he just goes, wing, like right down the hallway. Like, super fast on his scooter. And I'm just like, man, like that was worth it right there, to be able to do that. And like I catcalled Denise Richards. Like she was walking down one of the hallways, and we had already chatted for a little bit, me and Chris and her. And I had went and got her a couple beers because she liked craft beer. And I was like, well, I work at a brewery. Huh?
Denise Crosby.
I'm sorry, Denise Richards.
She had a thing for you though, Jay. Woo.
Oh yeah. she was walking down the hallway, and I saw her, and I was like, and she like looked around, and I was just like, eh. It was all in good fun, though. It was all in good fun.
Yeah, I think that's one of the greatest things for us is, these guys, a lot of these people come in as, this year's a bit different where, me and Rudder have got to, meet some of the guests, or like last year, Jay, all of us had already known Mark Dodson from having him prior. But a lot of these people come in as, we don't know them short of like, hey, we'd love to have these, this person as a guest. And they leave, they leave a friend, they leave like family. Jay still talks with Cooper. I'm still talk with Moses and Brian O'Halloran. Like, it's crazy. Like some of these people that you can, get to keep up with, and it's like, okay, the weekend's over, but they still remember you and still like, interact with you. And we didn't know what to expect with Joey last year. We're just like, oh yeah, what are we kind of getting ourselves into? Knowing how famous Joey is and was, how he spent many years of his life. Like, is he gonna be chill? Is he gonna understand like this isn't like the glitz and glamour, traveling type thing that he's used to? And he was just a bro. Like, there's no better way to put it. Like, he was just so much fun, and was like, constantly just like joking around, or, he was the life of the party with everybody, and it was awesome to have that experience.
It's just so funny. Like, I would have never in my life thought that I'd be like, Joey Fatone is one of the coolest people I've ever met in my life. Like, he is hands down one of like the nicest, down to earth people that I straight up was like, I don't want him to leave. Like, I want to be best friends with him. Like,
Jay didn't want Joey to leave so bad that Jay did not show up to bring him on his flight home.
To the airport. Oh my God.
Side note. The one person who didn't make it was because it was Jay's fault.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be at he was supposed to be at Coachella that night. Like, that's where he was going that night, was to do that NSYNC thing with Ariana Grande.
Oh, my God.
And which he kept hush-hush with us. And, the night before, we were all out. And I said, yeah, I'll drive him. I'll drive him to the airport. And they're like, okay, well, he has to be there at, 5:30 a.m. I was like, yeah, no problem. And I remember hanging out with Kimberly, and I didn't even realize this until later, but his hotel room was next to mine. So I not only, didn't wake up in time to take him to the airport, I was literally a room over from him, just passed out. I remember waking up, it was like 7 a.m., and it was bright out, and I was like, oh my God. I looked at my phone, and there's 3 missed calls from Joey Fatone. Will had called me. Joanna, his agent, had called me. I have a voicemail. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh man, I was freaking out. And then I end up texting Joey later, and he was like, it's okay. I got an Uber. And then when I saw Joanna, his agent, I just ran over to her and I grabbed her. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I just let that one ride because I'd gotten woken up from her hey, so I can't get a hold of Jay and Joey's here waiting to go. So what are we gonna do? And it all got taken care of. And she's like, all right, well, we're gonna keep hush hush and we're gonna let this ride and see how Jay does. But we're good. No one's in trouble. I'm not mad. Everything worked out. And so Jay messaged me the next morning. He's like, how much trouble am I in? I was like, I don't know, man. You're gonna have to take that up with Joanna when you see her at the convention today. I got nothing. I got nothing on that one for you.
But I can always say now, that I overslept and forgot to take Joey Fatone to the airport. So, and I still have the voicemail. It's literally just him hey Jay, this is Joey. Please call me back at blah 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 blah. Once again, blah 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 blah. I still got that voicemail saved.
And another kind of funny story with that, as we kind of talked with Nick about Twin Peaks, remember them coming. Well, I guess 2 stories with Nick. First one we'll go with the Twin Peaks one, and then I'll go with pretty sure it was Mark for the second one. So Nick was
Denny's?
No, not Denny's. He did love Denny's, yeah.
Yeah, he loved Denny's. He did.
So we brought in Kimmy in from the airport, and she was at the hotel, and she was like, "Oh yeah, here's my number. If you guys need me, or if I need to, let me know when you're here for this or that." And Nick's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, I've got you on Facebook. I can just send you a message there." And she stopped for a second, and she's like, "What?" He's like, "We're friends on Facebook." And she's like,
"But it was her.
Yeah,
it was her.
It was her though." And she's like, "Oh, well, I probably won't get it. That's mine, but I don't run it. I have somebody else handle it for me." She's like,
she did though. She totally commented on my post that night.
Oh, did she?
She did.
Well, no, she I would think it's she has somebody handling her messages because Kimmy is she's such a sweetheart, and she's very innocent. Unfortunately, there are, as we know with the internet, some messed up people out there. And Kimmy would get very inappropriate messages or photos and some very sketchy fans. She wouldn't really know what was going on. So she had to have somebody kind of help run her page for her to kind of get rid of those unfortunate issues.
Yeah, she did. She did give me her number.
Yeah, baby.
There you go.
Yeah, and she texted me at 2:30 in the morning about Civil War gold.
That's awesome.
I still have it. I still have the messages. I didn't delete them.
Well, yeah, of course you can't get rid of that.
No.
It's Cooper's messaged me before, at 5 a.m. It's just yeah, I'm awake. I've been awake all night.
check out my home gym I'm building. This is my setup. This is my squat bench. This is this and then I think so. The other one was, I want to say it was Mark. I could be wrong. I think Nick had dropped him off. We were all hanging out in the lobby. And he's like, yeah, so, Nick, what room are you staying in? And he's like, oh, I'm not. Like, I got an apartment, like, just on the other side of town. So I'll just be driving in and whatnot. And he's like, oh, hell no. You guys, this guy works his ass off. You need to put him up in the hotel. And I was like, Nick, do you want to stay in the hotel? Like, what do I do? Like, I'm not going to, like, yeah, no, Nick's going home. Like, Nick works his ass off. He 100% earned the hotel room for the weekend. Like, there's no issue there. But it was just like, well, yeah, like, I'm not going to not listen to what Mark's telling me. So I was like, hey, guys, I actually need to add another room to my block. Can we make that happen?
It was very helpful having the hotel room, though. I was there a lot.
I know, right? So many trips.
Yeah. No, that was nice having that. But yeah, the back and forth was definitely a bummer. So I'm glad that we've moved our location for the next year. Jason, you got anybody that stood out for you? You got any experiences with any of the guests from the years?
I think I know where Jason's going.
It knows exactly where I'm going. So it was more or less Pine State. And
which one?
I joke around a lot. And about 3 days before Pine State, I said, you know what? I'm going to sing Africa by Toto with Jason Marsden.
Oh, no, that was the halfway con for BCTC.
The halfway con, yeah.
Oh, yeah, halfway. I can't remember anything anymore.
What day is it?
So it started out as a joke, and I didn't know nothing. And then we happened to sing at the con, and Jason started singing with us, and I held his hand. It was a beautiful, magical moment.
Which is captured on video. It is on Facebook.
On video, on Facebook. And then later at Queen City, it happened again. And just, it's one of those weird things that something I just joked about casually came true twice.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to go skydiving with him, and it happens. Like, just random conversation. It was beautiful.
BCTC is magical.
And then not only that, then you've got were you in your cosplay at Queen City?
I think that night, no, I was not.
Okay, but he
that was in Saturday.
Okay, but yeah, so Sunday night he was in his onesie. Him and Clark were in their onesies, and Jason's doing his signature pose, and then Jason's in his onesie, standing on top of our Jason, like with a leg on him, just like acting like he conquered this, this Goliath of a man. And of course, like, Jason has absolutely no filter. And one of the first things he said to Marsden was, "Oh, wow, you really are tiny, aren't you?"
Well, compared to Jason, though, I mean, that's literally like a real David and Goliath scenario.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me, it was like, holy shit. Like, yeah, I knew he was short, but when I saw him, I was like, holy shit, he's short.
No, but I thought that too, though.
Yeah. He was.
Jason's a really good guy, but my God, I was like, that is a compacted little man.
Yeah. Right. And before those photos were taken, the first words out of his mouth was, "Do not pick me up." And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to, but all right.
Yes. So he's dealt with that, like.
Oh yeah.
But he said it. I'm like, now I really want to. Like, you can't just say
that. Dude, side note, that reminded me of a moment that actually kind of really irritated me. This last year, we went to the Boston Fan Expo. Corey Feldman was there, and Kimberly and I walk around his table to take a photo with him, and he's sitting at his chair. But he's way shorter than like us. I think he's shorter than Kimberly. Kimberly's 5'8". And what's he do? He stands up on his chair and puts his arm around both of us. So he's taller than both of us in the photo. And I'm just like, really, dude? Really?
He's Corey Feldman. He can do what he wants.
He can do what he wants.
I know, he can, for sure, but it just cracked me up. Like, anybody that would have been taller than him, he, like, made sure. It was like Tom Cruise that has, like, a stack of phone books, like, ready at his table.
Hey, real quick, I don't know if Jessie is still watching or not. She just commented on one of the posts about tickets. So to kind of catch people up on that, The only tickets available right now are whatever we have left for VIP, which before this all happened, I think we were down to like maybe 10 left. So it's definitely under 15 VIPs that are left available. Other tickets will go back on sale, but right now, was it a week or so ago, me and Jay got a message or an email from Tony, the general manager, who said, hey guys, anybody that has an event right now, please kind of bear with us. Out of respect to what's going on right now, we are not going to like really post or share anything on our personal page for the Cross Center. But you guys are set. You guys are allowed to promote whatever you want, be it not just us, any of the things that have been rescheduled. But I know as of right now, Ticketmaster has not been updated for tickets to be on sale. So if you are still watching and you want to get tickets, you can get VIPs right at our Bangor Comic and ToyCon.com website. If we sell out of VIPs, I'm sure with what's going on, if people really want them, it's something Jay and I will be more than willing to open up some more for other people, given that that's really the only option out there for tickets right now. But you can certainly buy those through the website, and we'll mail them out the next day. So,
yeah.
Jesse, I was still because we were only able to do 2 days and not 3. I'll keep an eye out.
Well, but wait. Side note with them, Jesse, Greg, and their son Hayden, they were all going to volunteer for the weekend.
Oh, well, if they're already volunteering, then they don't need to buy tickets.
Yeah, so I mean that's a total side note. We've talked about it, but you probably don't remember. It was Greg, her boyfriend. Them three, they're going to travel up. They weren't able to come to any of the meetings because they live down near the Portland area.
I was saying, yeah, they're the ones down in Portland, right?
Yeah, so they plan on coming up to the event and volunteering, and they were the ones that I talked about that I think would be really good for kind of line
management.
Management, yeah.
Yeah, so Jesse, just to kind of recap what Jay was saying, you're more than welcome. The more volunteers, the better, by all means. And as I kind of said at the beginning of this video, anybody that volunteers, we do take care of you guys. Especially, we know, again, Nick's got a girlfriend, Alan's wife, a number of staff. Sometimes it's even couples that volunteer, or they do have children, and they come in at sometimes 7 a.m. on Thursday, are there until midnight, do it all over again every day. So as a thank you to those guys, we have a set amount of passes set out back for family, and whenever family does want to come visit, we just have you go out to the green room, you grab a couple badges, and then once they leave, we just ask that they go back in the green room for the next set of person that would like to use them. But yeah, as a volunteer, you're not having to pay. You're completely covered.
You are good to go. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, and on top of that, if
you get paid.
Wait, who's getting paid? I don't get paid. You're not getting paid.
I'm not getting
paid.
Getting
autographs. That's it.
People make money off of these things.
Hey, we ran to the bank, Jay.
Yeah, right. All of dollars.
Right. Our Monopoly bucks. Yeah, that's my dog freaking out in the background. And Jesse, the other thing too, I don't know if you can hear over my dog freaking out about somebody walking by. But as a volunteer, Jay, do you want to kind of tell her the other piece of the autograph piece while I go take care of the dog real quick?
Oh, yeah. The other piece for that, Jesse, for anybody that's looking to volunteer, is every guest that comes to our event, part of it is we ask that they sign a certain amount of photographs or what have you. And typically that's, that's really how we try to like pay people back. So if there's somebody that's going to be at the event that you specifically want to either maybe get a photo with or get an autograph from or something, or maybe you have something that you want autographed, just come up to us. We'll set it aside. We'll make sure that it's like part of the group of things that need to get autographed and all that. So just let us know if there's anything that we can do to accommodate. We definitely want to compensate people for their time, because I know that it's very time consuming. And once again, we cannot do this without you guys and people helping us. We make the decisions, but we cannot run everything ourselves. That's for sure. And that's one thing this year that we're trying to fix about last year, because it was one thing when you were like helping out with the event before, but when you're actually running it and you have to be in charge of everything, Will and I were just running around like crazy. So that was another thing about this year that we were so excited about, is that we had all these meetings put together and we actually had people set in their separate sections and knew what they were doing. So we were like, yeah, we can pretty much just like, you know, we spend half the year to the year putting it together, that during the event we should be able to like enjoy it. So we're hoping this year, you know, October we'll be able to do something like that. But how's your dog doing, Will?
I think he's better. He's wanna come say hi? Come here. Oh, get your butt up here.
Jesse, good. I don't know. Hayden, yeah, just let us know, message us or whatever. Let us know who he specifically wants to meet or whatnot. Loki, what's up, dude?
This is my pup Loki. This is joined us last week for a minute, and now he's back again, and he's trying to lick the microphone. And now he's gone. All right. Well, that was Loki. So
that's all he needed. He just needed a little love from his dad.
Just needed some love and to tell everybody said hi. So, hey, Darren. Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're always looking for volunteers. You and I kind of discussed, you know, with our event, what is needed from volunteers on our end, and you know, with the caliber of guests we bring in, you know, what our expectations are and what their expectations are. So if you feel that's something you're able to do, then certainly reach out to us and we can talk about it more. But you know, we do have to have some pretty strict guidelines as far as, you know, people cosplaying, and you know, you're kind of got to be there for the event and not, you know, doing other things. So if that's something you want to do, then certainly reach out. We can find something for you. Yeah, that's my pup. He does really good. He kind of just sits here and gets jealous that he's not getting all the attention. So.
See, Amy just joined Renfro. Is she in the other room?
She isn't. So she's somewhere.
She's laying on the bed behind him, Jay.
Yeah, right. She just peeks her head up like behind him. Oh, right here.
Now I'm just waiting for her to like come in from the other room and just kind of like, you know, we had so what we had to have. We had Loki here for a minute. We had Miles we didn't have Miles this episode. We had Miles last episode.
Yeah, he did jump in, yes.
We had Corey's little one. His daughter came in and said goodnight, so.
Said goodnight, yep.
Yeah, so surprise guests are always fun.
Always.
Well, we're about hitting that 2-hour mark here.
Yeah, so I guess yeah, just kind of finish up with a few more another question, and then Jay. Well, first let's segue to this for a minute. Jay, what are we drinking tonight?
What are we drinking? Well, it's funny you ask. I'm drinking Fries Leap, Sebago. It's a Maine-based company. I try to drink each episode at least like a Maine-made beer. If anybody has any suggestions or something I should try, I'm personally a fan of IPAs, but I will try any kind of beer that you suggest as long as it's Maine-made. Sebago IPA, I don't know what it is I love about them. This is a Cascade Centennial Columbus hop. What are you drinking over there? The Schweeps?
I'm drinking some Schweppes. Schweppes ginger ale.
What's the brand of gin? What's the brand?
Bubbly.
Hard Shore. Made right Hard Shore.
Down in Portland. Nice.
Down in Portland, there we go. Portland-based gin.
Yeah.
Anybody that wants to be on our
Mike said that.
episode that's going to drink something Maine-based, make sure you mention it. Any restaurants or any businesses that may be watching, or you know anybody that you want us to give a shout out. Times are tough, so any way that we can like throw something out there so somebody will get some more business, we're all about it.
Do you mean like Harvest Moon Deli in Bangor,
Ooh.
Brewer,
No.
Monroe, in Newport, with
That's
all
one of my
stations open
favorite
from 10 to 7
places to get
for
food. Their
curbside pickup
salads are
and
amazing.
delivery.
Their sandwiches are amazing.
Hey Nick, while
Hey.
it's May, right?
It's May.
So what's
We got the Riders on the Slaw.
Yeah, I was say, what's the sandwich of the month right now? Fill us in. What do we got going on?
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't know what's on it except for chicken, Chipotle barbecue, coleslaw, cheddar cheese, and served on sourdough.
Ooh, so the special bread right
I
now
think
is
there's
the
pickles.
sourdough.
There may be pickles. I haven't had to make one. So
Ooh.
yeah.
I think there's only
I
one person
had-
that works there
I
at
had-
a time, right?
What? What did you
I
say?
said there's only like one person that works there right now at a time, right? At each
No, that's
location.
true. We're actually getting pretty busy. People want sandwiches.
I'm just
Oh
saying.
no! I know you guys are busy, but I feel like you have like a smaller amount of crew that's working. So
Oh, we're definitely down a few people for sure.
yeah,
I was saying I got to I went and grabbed a few sandwiches for me and my coworkers the other day from Nick, and got to see one of our other awesome volunteers, Adrian. Who I haven't seen.
Adrian, dude, we just
Adrian
got
Flag!
sandwiches from Adrian 2 days ago at the
Missed
Griffin
you.
Road.
I missed you that day. I was working and out on a delivery, and he was like, "Jay was here." I was like, "What?" Dang.
Well, and that's actually why I was thinking like that you only have 1 or 2 people working, because Kimberly said that. She's like, man, like I introduced her to Adrian, and I was like, I think he's just in there like doing his thing, like keeps the door locked, makes the sandwiches, meets people at the door. He might be the only person there.
Yeah, no, we're running with like 4 people a day.
Nice.
Because you guys are
Yep.
still at least offering delivery right now too, right?
Correct. I believe at all locations, yes.
So I
Yeah.
tried tagging Adrian in the comments, but it's not letting me.
I'll tell you right now, the Reuben Tuesday is always a standby classic. A Reuben is always good. Harvest Moon Deli's Reuben is very good.
It's funny you said that. So I also used to work at Harvest Moon for a while, and I would have customers come in and say like how the Reuben at Harvest Moon was like better than some of the Irish pubs around here, which always blew my mind. But like that was a really cool thing to be able to hear.
Mm.
While we're on Harvest Moon, Nick, I've got a question for you. It's one of the ones that we kind of would float around at our location. What is your least favorite sandwich to have to make?
The salami anymore.
Oh, okay.
I cannot remember it for the life of me. Chris
I
Lyon
know what I'm ordering.
was always there to tell me that what went on it right beside me. Now he's not there, so I forget, and I have to look at the menu every time because I still don't remember. I couldn't tell you right now. It has salami and some things on it, but I don't remember the.
Was it
I've
salami?
been there.
So it's basically that's like the steak me home, but with like mushroom and was it the spicy relish?
It comes with the relish.
Yeah. So
But
mine was the steak me home tonight. Absolutely hated making
Ooh,
that.
I like eating it.
Oh,
I bet you do.
it tastes great, but it's like that. Like the steak is just like so like chopped up and messy. Like trying to put it on a sandwich, it just goes everywhere.
It's hard to work with for sure.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So I one last question, I guess, before we wrap it up. We kind of talked about some of our, your guys' favorite memories, or your, past favorite guests. Every year when me and Jay start doing staff meetings, we already have a number of the guests already lined up, but there's always a few we're still working on. And we always ask for your guys' input or who you guys would like to see. And sometimes it works out. Like, last year we had, the Twin Peaks guest that, Nick is a huge Twin Peaks fan. But if you guys can each pick one guest to have at the BCTC, who would your choice be? And it could be a past guest again, or it could be somebody we've never had.
Oh, I know. I got mine.
Go for it.
You want me to start it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's a twofer though.
Okay.
Ooh.
This is. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up though, because as Will and I are the people that make the decisions, don't think that this is something that I can necessarily make happen. But I personally would love to get Sean and Ed, Simon Pegg,
Oh.
and, Nick Frost.
Yeah.
That would be my dream team right there. If I could get Sean and Ed, I'd be like, okay, anything else, cool. But I did it.
Yeah. So before anybody else answers, we kind of did try that one year, or at least I don't know if I tried. One of the agents we work with.
We have the contact.
Yes, we have the contact. Unfortunately for us, the price.
Jason Momoa, yeah, okay, buddy. Anyways,
the prices for Sean and Ed. Well, I don't know if Ed might be a little better, but I did reach out about Simon, and it's insane money. You know, between Shaun of the Dead, all of the movies, and then doing Star Trek. It's one of those.
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars, yeah. He's
the trifecta, honestly.
I would say he's
got his hand in everything. He really does. He really does.
But yeah, I would love to have them. I know GalaxyCon had a few of their shows last year.
Yeah, even if I could get one of them, but that's just like if I could get, it's kind of like us doing the Clerks trio, which don't forget, we've got the reschedule. We got the Clerks trio coming, and that's amazing. I'm so stoked on that. But if I could do another like duo, that's who I would personally try to get. Who else we got? Who's next?
Al.
Somebody said Jason Momoa. That's out of the question. Next.
Yeah, my wife said it. Yeah. Hey, Jason was at Fan Expo. I heard Jay and Kimberly got to meet him. Heard he was a great guy. Unfortunately, anybody Marvel or DC is not really an option for us. And it's not because we don't want them. Again, it's Bangor, and their prices are just, it's we're not a large enough market to be able to financially make that work. Unfortunately,
maybe eventually. We're not ruling it out, but right now it's not a thing.
All right, what do you got, Al? What's your thoughts?
Well, aside from going with the obvious Gigi Edgley,
yeah.
I would honestly have to say I think a really great addition for BCTC one year would be Michael Bean.
I was waiting for that one.
Because I had the chance to meet with you guys down to Granite State, and that was he's another one of those guys that he took 10 to 15 minutes with every person in the line, just sit there and talk with them and shoot the shit. And just another great guy. And he's the type of talent that would be a terrific addition, I think, for the BCTC.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I wouldn't have thought of that before we went down to Granite State Con together and you had gone to meet him. But after that experience, hearing you talk about him and everything and seeing your guys' interaction, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, I was gonna exactly what Jay said. Al, the whole ride down, Al was quoting Tombstone and saying how excited he was for him. And
did you do the quote to him? I can't remember, Alan. Did you do it?
No, I didn't. I didn't totally fanboy out on him like that. So, no.
Well, yeah, at one point, me and Jay were over with Kevin Eastman, and Al's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go over and try to get line for Michael." And we're like, "All right." So we finish up with Kevin and Courtney, and we're walking around, and we're like, "Man, where the hell is Al?" And we saw him talking with Michael at first, and we we do a loop around, and we come back, and we're like, good Lord, this man is still just hanging out talking with him. So yeah, I 100% agree. I think he would be an absolutely amazing addition to BCTC, and he would fit the vibe we have 100%. Darren, Sam Jones is amazing. We got to meet him down at GalaxyCon last year. Flash, for anyone that doesn't know who Sam Jones is.
Yes.
And just, we were actually talking about Sam the very first episode we did with our buddy Al. Sam got into the wrestling ring for a bit with the fantasy championship wrestling that they do, and Sam is a mountain of a man. Al's a pretty big guy himself, and he was saying, Sam's a big dude. Yeah, I would love to have Sam. I think he would be a great great guest to have, and he would fit that very well. Will Arnett.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah, Orion. I agree, buddy. Will Arnett would be a fantastic. He again just seems like another one of those great people. That he would. He just has such a love and passion for what he does, and I feel like he would be great with the fans. Jason, what about you?
Honestly, it'd have to be Tommy Wiseau.
I don't recognize the name.
Hell yeah. That'd be weird. That'd be weird as.
You can say it. You can say it.
Is that the porn star?
No. Tommy Wiseau is the creator, actor, writer, director, producer of the worst film ever made, The Room.
The Room?
The Room.
Never seen it.
Dave and James Franco did a movie based on the book called The Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Where he, I did not hit her. I did not. That's Tommy Wiseau. He is such a character. I would love to see him come to Bangor, honestly.
It would be weird. It would be really
weird, but great.
He would probably sell his designer underwear.
Nice.
Go to his website. Go to his web store. It's pretty weird. You get like a signed 8x10 and a copy of his movie with like everything you order. It's really weird.
Well, joke's on him. I bought it on Blu-ray, his movie.
I know. I need to do that. I've been waiting. The time is soon to get this movie. Jay, you watch it. You won't be disappointed. It'll be really weird. You'll have fun.
Two artists that we've been in the talks to try and get, and we would really like to get, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But Scotty Young, who does a lot of variant artwork. He has all of his own original artwork. He does his own graphic novel called, oh my God, I think it's like I Hate Fairyland or something like that. And then Tony Moore, the artist for well known for The Walking Dead, the first like 5 issues or something like that. The original, he was the artist for that, and he's done a bunch of other stuff. And we've been trying to get him up here. We're trying to really
last 2 years
get another kind of big name artist or something. And that one, I don't know. It's hard to like get certain people with that. Like we have a really good group of people that we're able to kind of stay in contact with, but sometimes when you venture outside of that, it's like almost impossible. So I don't know if anybody else has like an artist or a creator or anybody that they want to see, but we're definitely interested to hear about it. I mean, if it's something that we can make happen, we'll at least look into it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can send us a message. The Facebook page, Will is very good about getting back to people on that. The email, bangorcomicandtoycon@gmail.com. You can email that if you have any suggestions about anything. Anybody maybe you want us to see if we can get on to this webisode or anything like that, the web series. We don't really have like a deadline on when we're trying to get this done. We're just going to keep doing it as long as we can. It's, mainly it was brought together as kind of like an outlet, but now I think it's going to take on its own kind of life, and I'm kind of hoping that it transcends over to when the actual convention is going on, then like the week before or during up to it, or maybe during it that night or something. We can do recaps on things. So I'm hoping we can continue doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think we've been super, Jay said it kind of started out as something just, to provide a distraction for people, for us to be able to still hang out, talk with our friends, and try to do something
I need it.
for you guys. And I know, I was telling Nick earlier, like, I'm so used to, I'm doing 40 hours a week at work. I'm doing 2 staff meetings for the con a week, and still trying to have personal time, and then host trivia for Josh at Cinema Club. So to, like, have that all go away, just mentally, it's sucked, and this has been like a nice outlet for me. And I think the coolest thing, and I won't mention names, but some of the guests that we've had so far, as soon as the episode's over, I've been like, hey, thank you so much. I needed this. Like, my mental health has just been so bad lately. And this has been a huge help to me, and I would come back anytime you guys would have me. So hearing things like that, it makes it all worth it. And all of you guys that continue to watch, continue to comment, and are sharing, for us, like, it's just great. Like, it shows like, hey, this is something people are seeming to enjoy. And I think it was going to be one of those where, we'll do a few of these just to see if anybody cares or is enjoying it. But I feel like it's just become a great creative outlet for us, and a way to be able to stay connected with all of you guys. So this is fantastic, and no set deadline. So please share anybody that you would like to have, be it local vendor, artist, business, any of the celebrities. We can always try to reach out to some of the agents. Before I get Nick's choice. For anybody that hasn't been paying, keeping up with it, as Jay said, we do have a Walking Dead themed episode with Cooper Andrews and Moses Mosley, who was one of the pet walkers. We've got Kevin Eastman that's going to be coming in with Ben Bishop and Troy Little. Next Saturday, 1 week from tonight, we have Catherine Sutherland, Pink Ranger from Power Rangers. We've got a Clerks trio set up for one later this year. I've got Josh Petersdorf, who was Roadhog in Overwatch. We've got a ton of cool stuff set up, and that's not even scratching the surface on some of the amazing artists that are going to be joining us as well. This, anything you guys want to see, please share, and we'll do the best we can to make it happen.
Absolutely, yeah. So Renfro, on that note,
I've got 2.
Okay.
I've got the ultimate one would probably be Ewan McGregor. Totally not ever going to happen.
No, but that would be
nuts.
Fun. But the one that's more realistic that would be really cool, that's kind of like not in your face celebrity, would be Tom Savini, who did a lot of makeup.
Tried. We're gonna try to make that happen.
Yeah.
Tom Savini is on all of our lists
because Yeah, you
gotta love Tom Savini.
If you know.
Yeah, you got to. If you love any kind of horror, if you love old school classics, anything like that, graphics, gore, you gotta love Tom.
You gotta love Tom. Yeah, Tom's a legend. We definitely have tried for Tom, and that's somebody we're not going to give up on, because
we will make that. Him and Kane Hodder, we will make happen.
Yeah. Because those guys are definitely within realistic budget for us to make happen. It's just scheduling to make it happen.
Busy guys.
Yeah. So who was? Oh, you already said Ewan and Tom.
I did.
So real quick comments here, Darren. I think everybody in this chat right now, all of us live, would 100% agree with you. Bruce Campbell. I will also I will also have you know that Chris, before, had tried getting Bruce, and at the time the convention was too new. He does have certain requirements to have him at conventions. And this past year, Bruce was one of our go-to. We kind of had it set up. We were talking with his agent. We were kind of top of the list for this year, and things kind of fell to the wayside and weren't able to make it happen. But Bruce, I would 100%. We all would love to have Bruce come up. So hopefully, eventually we can make that happen.
Yeah, Hopefully. I mean, yeah, that's another one that is definitely on our radar. If we could make that happen, we will. For sure.
I gotta say, I think first, probably one of the people I'm most excited for this year, while Jay was kind of talking about artists, and I really think they're flying under the radar, CP Wilson.
Yeah.
The guy is absolutely amazing. If you guys don't know who CP Wilson is, get on Google right now, search him. I know Kevin's the big get, and I'm very excited to have Kevin. But CP is just another level.
He's gonna be doing an episode with us, right?
Yeah, so we've got CP that's going to be joining us in for one of these. Yeah. He does all of the stuff for Joe Hill. So anything you've seen Nosferatu, or as the comic would be, Return to Christmas Land. It's just absolutely amazing the things that he can do. And I can't wait to have him up here. Jesse, any of the voice actors from Nightmare Before Christmas. I got to meet Ken Page and Chris Sarandon. Would absolutely love to have them up here. Those guys are
Danny Elfman, no big deal.
We'll get Danny Elfman. Yeah. Chris and Ken are doable. They're great guys. We work with the agent that has them, so that could certainly be doable. I know my girlfriend will probably see that comment, and that's kind of like how Jay heard nothing, but Joey Fatone comments from Kimberly. I would hear that from my girlfriend if we brought, Chris, who was Jack, or Ken, who was Oogie Boogie. That would be amazing.
Well, because Chris, that was Jack. Was he also the? Oh my God, was he in Shrek? Who was he a voice of? Was he the prince? No, that was John Lithgow.
Yeah. John.
Who am I thinking of? He also was the prince in something. Robin Hood Men in Tights, maybe? Maybe that's who I'm thinking of. He's friends with Bill Maher. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. You just made me think of it. I thought I could think of it sooner, but I lost it. So anyways, forget I said anything. But I'm pretty sure it's the same guy. That's the actual voice of Jack Skellington. I'll have to look that up. What else we got? Nightmare for Christmas. I would be all for that. If we could get, that reminds me, actually, if we could get anybody like Hank Azaria or Nancy Cartwright, like Simpsons voices, I'd be so stoked. But
so you're thinking of The Princess Bride?
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Oh,
You're right.
He was in The Princess Bride.
100%.
So that would be like my under the radar guest that we have, and I think dream guest. It's kind of tough. I would probably have to say I'm a huge, the It remake Pennywise. So Bill Skarsgård, I would love nothing more than to have him as a guest up here, especially the tie-in, the roots with Stephen King.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I would also settle for Jeff Goldblum. Again, settle, right?
I actually have a story about Jeff Goldblum and my buddy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So my buddy's a news photog down in Austin, and at South by Southwest, Jeff Goldblum serenaded him on camera.
Oh, that's awesome!
Awesome.
Yeah, he just seems like he'd be a great guy. Ray Park would also be really cool. Darth Maul.
Don't say that I'm fangirling right now over Ray Park.
That would be great.
He might be more doable though because of the fact that he's not necessarily known for his actual face, right?
Right. Yeah, he's more
just his body, Jay.
Yeah, just like the paint.
It's more like a Doug Jones type. He's like more like behind
that's what
the
I'm getting by Renfro, you dickhead.
Hey.
Yeah, you dickhead.
Wow.
The guy down in the left corner is a dickhead.
What?
And then we got Big Bear over in the right corner.
Everybody's so...
Oh my God, where'd that Big Bear come from?
Oh.
Darren, Stephen King will never happen. I'll give a quick answer to the Stephen King thing. Stephen King is more than welcome anytime. We've even reached out. We work with his radio station. I've got family that works at the station. We've had talks with Stephen, and have even just said, "Hey, just come and hang out, like, or come to a dinner after and hang out." We've had, Denise Crosby. We've had a number of people that have been in Stephen King movies. We had the Christine cast that all would have loved to be able to re-catch up with him. Unfortunately, Stephen used to do conventions. As we've all seen, he has some very crazy and insane fans. And he's gotten some really messed up gifts, including like bloody animal parts and this and that. So he does not do conventions, and probably won't see him around. The Lock and Key cast would be great. We work with, as I said, C.P. Wilson, who works with Joe Hill. We also have Israel Skellington, who does all of the keys for the Lock and Key movie or TV series on Netflix, who will be coming.
Great show.
Absolutely. Yeah. Joe Hill, yeah, we've reached out. We're trying to find a contact for Joe. We would love to have him. I got to talk to him at BAM, and he was interested. So it's just trying to make it all work. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for all the comments, all the suggestions, hanging out with us tonight. We truly appreciate it. We've definitely gotten a bit over, but it's been fun.
It's no real time limit, but it just happens to seem like 2 hours.
Yeah, we've got to try to keep at the 2 hour mark. We've gone about 2.5, which again, it's it's been fun. It's it's easy flow. Comments have been constantly coming in. You guys have all been absolutely amazing. Jesse says her insanity for nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is horrible. Like we've heard some crazy stories about people with Stephen King. So it's unfortunately not an option as much as we would love to. Yeah. But again, seriously, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for sharing, commenting, giving up a couple hours twice a week to just sit here and talk with us and hang out. Like
we need social interaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we do.
And again, thank Al, Nick, Jason. Thank you guys so much for joining in with us tonight.
And thank you guys. Love you guys.
And
Love you too.
I've said it a ton of times, but again, thank you guys for all that you guys do continue to do for the convention. Thank you to all of our staff who bust their ass constantly for us. A lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes from on their end to help make this flow for Jay and I, and they don't really get that attention or that recognition that Jay and I do, being the faces of it. But it's I can't say it enough. This wouldn't happen without those guys and all that they do.
Absolutely.
And it's been really cool to be able to just kind of reminisce on past cons, and I think that's been one of my favorite things with this so far, is hearing people's stories or memories from past years, and it's just it's a breath of fresh air, as Jesse just said.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, with that, I mean, unless anybody else has anything else to say, I don't want to keep anybody any longer.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for being part of this. Anytime, just shoot out a message to one of us and let us know if you want to be part of something, even if you want to phone in or something like that. I'd love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely. With that, will we be back? We'll be back Wednesday, 8 p.m. right here again on Facebook for another episode. Not sure exactly what we'll have just yet, but we'll get that posted in the next day or two once it's all finalized. So we'll see you guys Wednesday, and then don't forget, next Saturday, 8 p.m. We will have Catherine Sutherland, the Pink Ranger from Power Rangers, joining us.
May 9th.
May 9th, 8 p.m. right here on Facebook. So think of your questions now. Get them ready. Don't know how busy it will be, but me and Jay will try to do the best to make sure any question or every question gets asked, or at least, one question for everybody that's tuning in the best we can. So again, thank you guys so much We love you guys, and we will see you all on Wednesday.
And as we do the outro, everybody, shh.